Welcome to the River City Hardball Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Gibson, where we like to spotlight athletes around the Jacksonville area who play baseball. One of those tonight is a recent commitment to the University of South Florida. Isaiah Mamea is a 2023 right-hander from St. John's Country Day. His head coach is Tom Lucas, also his coach in the summer with the Florida Prime Dodgers scout team. And guys, appreciate your time this evening. Coach Lucas, we've talked a few times here recently. A bunch of your guys are committing.
Yeah, no, it's been fun and exciting. So if you're reaching out to me, that means good things have happened. So that's always great.
That's right. Before we bring in Isaiah, tell me about him, his growth that you've seen.
And he's one I've had since I think he was 9 years old. And he was kind of one of those phenoms back then. His 12U season, I'd rank as probably the most dominant 12U season I've ever seen. He never gave up an earned run in that season. But he's just one of those kids. He's blessed with a lot of physical tools. 6'3 and a half, almost 6'4". His arms hang down below his knees. So he's just a really long player who's always been blessed with, a good arm action, a lot of velocity. But, he's grown a lot. When you shoot up like that, sometimes he looks like the baby giraffe out there. But he's starting to put it all together, all the components of the workout, nutrition. So he started gaining a lot of strength, and then had to challenge him a few times. He was one of those young guys who maybe wasn't quite where he needed to be last year, and had to have a little kind of heart-to-hearts with him, that he's probably one of the most dominant pitchers in that class, and he needs to act like it when he's on the mound, and really start putting it together and had a great summer.
Isaiah, congratulations. You're going to be a South Florida Bull. Tell me about it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, it started off with early summer. I didn't really know what to expect. And then during the around July, I started getting phone calls from them, more phone calls from USF. And I really liked talking to them. And after one of the tournaments, I visited the school, and I really liked it. So I just enjoyed it.
Isaiah, has South Florida been on your radar this whole time? Were they a new school on your list? Tell me about that part of it.
Yes, sir. They popped up during spring break when we were at IMG for one of our baseball tournaments. And then during the summer, we started growing a relationship together. So it started getting stronger and stronger. And then a few days ago, I committed. So that's exciting. What
was your visit like down there to Tampa area?
It was really good. We were just touring the campus unofficially, and I visited the baseball field, and I really liked it, and all the academics there.
Coach Lucas, what's been your communication as far as Isaiah goes with South Florida and that choice for him?
Yeah, a great staff. They're coming off a phenomenal year. They played baseball longer than anybody in the state of Florida, making it to a super regional this year. And that kind of shows a lot of kids, just the parity in college baseball. Sometimes we get caught up in all the big names and the ACC, SEC type schools, and there's a lot of parity in baseball. And so that kind of puts South Florida, rebounding off of that season. A lot of people started looking at them and kicking the tires on them, but have a great staff. We actually have a Jacksonville kid who's down there right now from Creekside and Cantu. But as you talk to players, as you talk to other coaches, the staff is just really phenomenal down there. Didn't hear any bad things about them. And so we try to do the research for our players, of what's going to be the right fit for, that type of player. And it just seemed like this was a great marriage between South Florida and Isaiah.
Isaiah, tell me about your game. You're a right-handed pitcher. What's your pitch mix? Tell me about what you bring on the mound.
Yes, sir. Well, I got a fastball, curveball, and slider right now, and I mostly use fastball and curveball, but I like using the fastball a lot because I like to challenge hitters, whenever up in the zone or down below. So I like to get a lot of swing and misses.
Coach, you've talked about his game a little bit. Expound on that.
Yeah, so the fastball really plays a little bit faster than whatever the velo is, just because he's so long. The ball just gets on hitters. we had a bunch of guys last year who are now playing college baseball. During the COVID shutdown the year before, they were taking live at bats against him. And that was kind of the feedback is, the fastball just gets on you. It might only say 87 or 88. It seems a lot faster. And that's just because of that length he has. It really carries through the zone. When he works down the slope and gets on top of the baseball, has a lot of vertical tilt to it, which makes it really tough to hit. And then he's got some things to work on. Some of the feedback we got from some of the schools, curveball is probably more of like a high school curveball, a lot slower, a little loopier, humps out of the hand. So that's one of the things that we're going to work on here for the next year, 2 years, is getting that a little bit tighter breaking ball. And then the slider is something that I think he's really going to need at the next level and the type of pitcher he's going to be. I envision, and when I would tell the college coaches, he's going to throw 95, 97. There's just no doubt in my mind, and that's if he didn't do anything. Just based on God-given talent, he's just blessed with that type of ability. And so you pair that with a really tight-breaking slider, and that's going to be a great pitch combination at the next level.
Isaiah, you're going to be a college baseball player. Has that set in for you? How exciting is that for you?
Man, it's still I'm still processing it because it's a huge deal. Getting to play college baseball, it's a blessing.
Being that you're going to be a college baseball player, how did you choose baseball as a kid growing up? I see that you're a Braves fan. I am too, so that's good to see. Yeah. Coach Lucas is a Mets fan, so we got to be careful here. But how did you choose baseball as a kid growing up?
Man, well, it started in Italy when I was playing t-ball for one of my teams, and my parents used to tell me, like, I was always playing around in the kitchen, running around, throwing the baseball, my mom and dad, just chilling around. But I kind of fell in love with the game, like around 10 or 11, It's something you have in your heart.
I love that. Who are some of maybe the guys that you watched growing up? Anybody that you've emulated your game after?
Well, one of the guys right now, his name's Tristan McKenzie, plays for the Cleveland Indians. He's like me, the same build, tall and lengthy. Fastball gets on you, and he has really good off speeds.
That's interesting. He's not a name that maybe a lot of people know, but Tristan McKenzie for the Indians is like 170 pounds. I think his nickname is Sticks because he's a guy, just a long, lanky guy that you're talking about there, Coach.
Yeah, no, he's digging deep on that one. That's pretty good. He's done his homework. So,
yeah.
I know Scott Hennessy, who's in Tulsa, one of his comparisons, he thinks Isaiah, when he sees him now at this age, is a Dane Dunning comparison for him. So hopefully, that's how his career can kind of play out.
Yeah, Dane Dunning performing pretty well right now in the big leagues from Clay in Florida. Good stuff. Final few moments here with you guys. Coach Lucas, you've had several commitments this year alone. What is the shape taking of this team that you've got coming up?
We've got some young guys that are going to step up. We graduated quite a few. I think 6 of those guys went to play college baseball, but I think now we're up to 7 commitments on the current team that we have. But it's some guys, who maybe didn't get a ton of innings or a ton of at-bats, but they're that next wave of players. They're all going to go play at colleges, but they need to kind of, go through the fall and kind of establish their own culture. Every team is a different team, and that's what we kind of work on in the fall is the makeup of and the chemistry of all those type of teams. And last year's team was really special. They just never thought they were out of a game, never gave up. And so this team's going to have to fight that, to find their own identity, not try to build off of last year's team, but really create something new for themselves. But talent-wise, we're pretty good. We've got just as much talent. All the pitchers except one guy, Jace Thomas, who went on with Flagler, is back. And we've got some guys that are committed to D1s that didn't even get to play. So it's a really deep team, but I'm going to challenge them. I just finished the schedule today, and we're playing a national schedule. We're going to LaGrange, which is like the top 8 teams in the Southeast have been invited to that. We're going to USA, invited us to their National High School Invitational in Cary. So that's the top 16 teams in the country. So they're going to see really high-level baseball. We're going to push these kids, and I think they got the talent to do it.
That's awesome. Another loaded team coming up for St. John's Country Day. Isaiah, as we wrap things up with you tonight, Who's your favorite Braves player? You got that flag flying high, man.
Freddie Freeman, man.
Freddie Freeman. He's the linchpin of that Braves lineup, especially right now without Acuna. So it's a good choice, man. Isaiah, you play on a very talented high school baseball team. What's it like playing with so much talent on that team?
Man, it's a blessing, because you see all these guys and all these guys working hard, all starting 9 players, and you just got a lot to learn from them. They're always giving me advice and stuff like that. So it's always really good to, I'll always be playing with them.
Well, once again, congratulations on your commitment to USF. Wish you the best of luck going forward. And, Coach, I'm sure I'll be ringing your phone a little bit later on with some more commitments. You got a fun group there.
Yeah, I hope so. I really appreciate everything you do for us.
All right, Isaiah Mamea, Coach Tom Lucas from St. John's Country Day on this episode of River City Hardball. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. All right, take that flag down, Isaiah.
Nope.
I love it.